we have the dailies for you, and we have beautiful pictures of the Speaker of Parliament, we have the EC chairperson, and we have the IGP all nicely on the front page of the daily graphic. Well, let me give you the headlines. It says here, Ghana will achieve debt sustainability. This is coming from the Chinese envoy. Okay. Botswana delegation visits Jospon Group's waste treatment plants. Speaker attacks politics of monetization. Asen North by-election today, police deploy drones to complement security measures, and EC prepares against rainfall. And we have $7 million food security project launched. And there's a special supplement on Idil Adha in the daily graphic.
Now moving on to the Ghanaian Times. Who wins Asen North seat? Voters decide between NDC and PP today. But interestingly, there are three candidates. You know, we have Charles Opoku for the NPP, James Jachi-Quayson for the NDC, and Bernice Enyonam Sefanu for the LPG, that's the Liberal Party of Ghana. And people think that Bernice is only just adding up to the numbers, because really the contest is between Charles Opoku and James Jachi-Quayson.
Yeah, but she can also carry the bragging rights of having competed.
Oh, that is not like she can. She will, because she has competed. But as to whether she will make
I didn't do the numbers. I mean,
it's okay. I mean, the courage to even say that you want to be part of the whole thing.
I like
is
that.
What we
It's important.
So it's fine. Yeah. Now, man gets 15 years for defiling girl 12. Robert Coleman honored for contribution to One Constituency, One AstroTurf initiative. Hi, Coleman. How are you doing?
Robert.
Yeah. Now, petroleum tanker drivers declare nationwide strike over unmeasurable roads. Now, if the petroleum tanker drivers are declaring strike due to unmeasurable roads, I don't know what taxi drivers and Saluka, drivers should be doing by now, because with their huge vehicles.
Anyway, it's okay. The way I've done your face, I won't comment again.
It's okay, don't worry about that. Advice is like a stranger. Whatever I'm going to say, I will take it.
All right, so we have the Finder newspaper, and on the front page of the Finder, it says, Ofwasi Ayerbi gets new post office. We have police assure of adequate security in Asen North by-election. Zipline flies 100,000 anthrax vaccines to Upper East region. And too close to call, but Opoku tipped to win with narrow margin. Okay. You know what's interesting about that? Too close to call, but Opoku tipped to win with narrow margin. What's interesting about it is that there's a percentage of people in the polls who are undecided.
I mean, as always.
These undecided ones can go and favor anybody.
Of course.
So as it stands, nobody has found their smoothest level yet.
Not yet. I mean, by close of day, we will know.
Oh, no.
Now, the Daily Guide. D-Day at Asen North. Vote NPP. This is Dr. Baumia speaking. IGP disarms bodyguards. Some of the MPs are not too excited that the IGP says that the bodyguards to the MPs should not be carrying their weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway, now.
But the bodyguards belong to the police force.
Yeah.
So,
they do.
Yeah, so...
But you have different roles to play at this point. So if you have not been deployed as to one of those going to enforce security on the grounds, you have no business. You are part of those who are not supposed to be
carrying weapons
there.
I don't see why there's any hue and cry about this. To me, it's plain and simple. It's just, there's no
so it still comes back to advices just like a stranger. You've said it, but you won't agree, you won't understand. But it really doesn't make much of a difference. Now, all set for Collins Dowda others trial. Start cash movement with armored cars, BOG orders. An organized labor declares strike July 10.
All right. Fantastic. Well, we have some more news on Citi Newsroom. You can go over there to check out your credible news stories and news updates. Of course, today, a lot of it is going to be about the Ascent North by-election. The headlines we have there, at least I think even the first 6 that I can see here are all on the by-election.
But really, today,
it's all about the by-election.
Who knows about what?
I know, right?
All we care about is Ascent North. And speaking of Ascent North, we've been joined by our Central Regional Correspondent, Calvis Tete. Hi, Calvis.
Hi, Frema.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. So just paint a picture to us with what is going on currently at Ascent North.
Well, I'm currently at Asim Breku, the district capital of the Ascent North region. Voting has started here in 99 polling stations across the constituency. Over 40,000 registered voters have casted their vote to select one person to represent them ahead of the 2024 elections. The NDC's James Jachikwesin is representing the MPP's Charles Opoku, and then Enyonam of the Liberal Party. 3 parties presented candidates to represent them, and as we speak, the elections voting has started here in Ascent North. People are in long queues, if you could see just behind me, trying to cast their vote to ensure that in the end, one person is elected to represent them ahead of the 2024 elections, Frema.
Now, what time did the election start? Did we have the voting materials come on time so voting could start at the scheduled time?
Yeah. Well, voting started just this morning at around 7 a.m. Voting started on time. We've gone around some of the constituencies, some of the polling stations to see what is happening. Voting has started. The process is peaceful. The police are here to ensure that everything goes well and that nothing happened in terms of violence. The police are actually doing their work. We could see them visibly within the constituency, Frema.
Now, have you spotted any of the candidates around?
Well, this morning, I have not spotted any of the candidates. We are expecting to see them around. Perhaps they'll be moving to the various polling stations to check and see what is happening. So we are expecting to see them. But it's a peaceful atmosphere here in Ascent North. For now, nothing has happened in terms of violence. We are hoping that the process will be successful, Frema.
Right. Now, with the look of things and looking at what time the voting started, can you boldly say that it will end by 5 p.m.?
Yes, Frema, the voting started very early this morning. As at 7 a.m., voting had started. We are hoping that by 5, I am sure by 5, the process will end, and then the counting will begin after 5, Frema.
Right, thank you very much, Calvis. We'll come back to you, in the course of the show for more updates.
Thank you, Frema.
It's nice. I don't know why I'm feeling all the butterflies of excitement.
Are you a candidate?
It's like
How does
election
that concern
day.
you? What is your own problem?
It's like election day. It's up. It's I don't know. It's even though it's far away, it kind of feels almost like how the national election feels. Because I think it's because there's so much interest in this particular election. But sports is next. Don't go anywhere. Why are we here in PCR? All right, it's time for sports this morning. And we have some boxing news and then some transfer news. And let's start with the boxing. The Ghana Boxing Authority has imposed a 2-year suspension on Alex Ntiamwa, the Chief Executive Officer of Box Office Sports. Now, this action comes as a result of Mr. Ntiamwa's violation of the ban on drumming and noise making as directed by the Ghana State and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Now, the GBA said, along with Splendor 3, that's S3 Boxing Promotions, Mr. Ntiamwa disregarded the imposed measures and proceeded to organize a boxing event on Sunday, May 28th, 2023, in Accra, instead of Ashaiman, as earlier discussed. Now, the GBA highlighted that this marked the second time Mr. Ntiamwa had committed the same offense. And so there has been some sanctions on him. Well, we also have some transfer news now. Manchester City's captain Ilkay Gundogan has left the club to join Barcelona following the expiration of his contract. Now, Gundogan leaves Manchester on the back of the club's greatest season, lifting the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League trophies within the space of a month. Now, Gundogan was in talks with City over a new deal ahead of his contract expiry at the end of this week. However, the length of the deal on offer for the 32-year-old, 1 year plus an option of further 12 months, was a sticking point, and he was instead penned a 2-year contract, also including a 12-month option with La Liga champions Barcelona. His release clause has been set at 400 million euros. And that's what we have for sports this morning. The monies that these people talk about.
I don't even want to think about it.
I mean, his release clause has been set for 400 million euros. It's like, a biscuit, G-biscuit, that kind of thing. It's
but why do people have money like that?
I mean,
no, the money is too much. Why do they have so much money? Sometimes
it's crazy.
When you hear these figures, you ask yourself, is it the same dollar we talk about? Is it the same euro?
Yeah.
Or there's a cheaper version of the euros we're talking about?
I'm telling you.
400 million
That's
euros?
Crazy.
Do they know of a country called Ghana?
Oh, by the way, there's something interesting. Over the weekend, I don't know if you heard a few weeks ago, there was this thing about arm wrestling championship and other things.
Yeah.
So the African Arm Wrestling Championships actually took place over the weekend.
Okay.
And Ghana swept like the silver, bronze, and gold in droves.
Wow, beautiful.
I mean, we walked away with, the second place team was Egypt. They had 282 points at the end of the day. Guess how many points Ghana had?
How many?
1,088 points. You see, this is what sometimes is a little frustrating with the whole way we think. This is such a resounding success on the continent. Okay, and the participating teams, Ghana, Egypt, Nigeria, Mali. Nigeria was in there. Mali, Senegal, Cameroon, Benin, Sierra Leone, Madagascar, Togo, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Chad, and Gabon. All of these countries were there. They all collected few. We took 1,088 points away at the championship. 47 golds, 55 silvers, 30 bronzes. I'm telling you.
47 golds?
We won't talk about it.
We won't talk about it because it's not football.
Yeah, it's not football.
And the football, what are we
what are we
doing? So
doing?
sometimes we should look at the other areas where we are doing so well and really focus our energies there as well. Because the football.
I mean, people like Roger, they're arm wrestling champions and other things.
But is it about that?
That's his arm wrestling champions.
You haven't seen a certain Roger that Kamaru would defeat him hands down. You understand?